The story of the Essex, a whale ship that met with a disastrous fate in the early 19th century, is a harrowing tale of survival, tragedy, and the power of nature. This incident not only became a chilling example of the extremes of human endurance, but also inspired literary works, most notably Herman Melville's Moby Dick. The Essex was a Nantucket whale ship, measuring about 87 feet in length. In August 1819, under the command of Captain George Pollard Jr., the Essex set sail from Nantucket, Massachusetts, on a voyage that would take it to the rich whaling grounds of the South Pacific. The crew was composed of experienced sailors and young men eager to prove themselves in the perilous but lucrative industry of whaling. For several months, the Essex hunted sperm whales in the Pacific. But by November 1820, their journey took a turn for the worse. In the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, about 2,000 miles west of South America, the ship encountered a massive sperm whale, estimated to be about 85 feet long. In a desperate attempt to harvest its valuable oil, the crew launched their boats. However, the whale retaliated, ramming the Essex with its head and causing significant damage to the ship's hull. Despite efforts to repair the vessel, the damage was irreparable. With the Essex taking on water rapidly, Captain Pollard and his crew faced a grim decision: to abandon ship or attempt to sail for the nearest land, which was thousands of miles away. They chose to salvage what supplies they could and set out in 3 small whaleboats. The journey was grueling from the start. The survivors had limited provisions, including some bread and water, and few navigational tools. Their goal was to reach the coast of South America, where they believed they could find rescue. However, as days turned into weeks, their situation grew increasingly desperate. They faced storms, starvation, and the constant threat of dehydration. To sustain themselves, they resorted to eating whatever they could find, including the few remaining provisions, and eventually resorting to cannibalism of their own deceased crewmates. As weeks turned into months, the survivors faced unimaginable hardships. One by one, crew members succumbed to starvation, exposure, or illness. Captain Pollard's boat was eventually rescued off the coast of South America in February of 1821. After approximately 90 days at sea, another boat, led by First Mate Owen Chase, was rescued several days later, while the third boat, led by Second Mate Matthew Joy, was never found. The story of the Essex's disaster and the crew's ordeal spread quickly, capturing public imagination and inspiring both awe and horror. Captain Pollard and Owen Chase's accounts of the events were published, providing first-hand narratives of the tragedy and the lengths to which men would go to survive. The impact of the Essex disaster extended beyond its immediate aftermath. It highlighted the dangers of whaling in remote and treacherous waters, and underscored the vulnerability of even the most seasoned sailors to the whims of nature. The story also raised ethical questions about the pursuit of profit at the expense of human lives and the environment. In literary circles, the Essex disaster became a source of inspiration. Herman Melville, who drew inspiration from the tale and Owen Chase's account in particular, transformed it into his epic novel Moby Dick, which was published in 1851. While Melville's novel is a work of fiction, it draws heavily on the themes of obsession, fate, and the primal struggle between man and nature that were vividly illustrated by the real-life events of the Essex. Ultimately, the story of the Essex and its tragic end serves as a reminder of the fragility of human life in the face of nature's unforgiving power.